All right, this is homework 1 for game 470. For question 1, I changed the code right here, adding the appropriate vertices. I also changed the number of vertices that we're storing. Let's see. And these are the triangles that are displayed. There's only 6 of them, even though we have 8 vertices. And then again, changed the number of triangles down here to 6. And then down in the draw scene, also changed the number of triangles to 6. And then I will run it. And as you can see, we get the star. Alright, stop that. For the second question, for the circle, we added the static constant int number of vertices. So right now I have that set to 20. And again, to set the vertices, I had a vector with the number of verts. And then I did a calculation with cosine and sine. And in a for loop, obviously, for the number of vertices again. Changed the added numverts down here. For the word indices, for the triangles, it's the number of vertices minus 2. And then times for 3 separate x, y, and z. And then another for loop, but this time from 0 to number of vertices minus 2. For every triangle, I started with the 0 index vertice, and then basically moved along the outside of the circle for each separate line segment. Again, had to change the number of triangles. The number it's there, and then finally again 3 times the number it's minus 2. And so I'll run this. And so there we go, 20 vertices. I will change the number of vertices and rerun it. Okay. Let's do 40 this time. For the further work, the first one, the reason why you're seeing a trapezoid is because you're moving that vertex outside the rendering window. So for the z-axis, it only renders points between 0 and 1. And so if there's z values 2, that's outside of that window. That's why it's not being rendered. For the second one, the top left values, that basically changes the top left corner of the screen. One possible use for this is if you want to zoom in on an image. For the third part of that, the format section, the first format is a 32-bit unsigned normalized integer. 8 bits per channel, including alpha. The second one stands for a single component 16-bit unsigned int for the red channel only. unorm is unsigned normalized integer. Uint means unsigned integer. Essent is signed integer. So we use the 16-bit one for setting the index format of the data in the index buffer. And for that, an unsigned int makes sense because you can't have a negative index in that buffer. So, I mean, that would make sense. And I guess that's it for assignment 1.